guys. I'm just checking now. Is that better? Can you let me know whether you can hear that now? Steve or Sean, can you let me know if there's sound? I was testing it and the sound was okay before, but do you still not have any sound? Ah. Can everybody hear me? It sounds like we're having some technical challenges. If you can't hear me, please let me know, because I can't tell. It's telling me that I do have sound coming through, but if there's nothing there, can you please let me know, because I don't want to keep going if we don't have the sound happening. Oh, good. Thanks, Sean. Thank you very much. All right, so I'm just going to quickly go back over. So basically, Loom has been instrumental for my business because it just gives you a way to communicate very fast, very quickly, and it doesn't. What it allows you to do is to communicate without there being any sort of suggestion of what you might have been wanting to say. When you write it in words, sometimes it's very different, whereas in video it's a lot easier to understand. So the first thing is, what can you use Loom for? We're going to cover that. Recording styles, how to structure your library, and then how to share that with your team. So first of all, what can you use Loom for? So Loom can be used for a number of different things. And one of the main ways that I suggest businesses use Loom for are for creating your policies and procedures. So let's just say, for example, you've got a business that has a number, you're the only one running the business, and you've got a number of different parts of the business. So you've got accounting, you might do your own accounting processes, reconciling your accounts. You might have some admin of answering emails in a particular way. You might have a customer relationship management program that you're trying to use, and that program you want to show somebody how to do a part of that so that you can then focus on something else. So using that as a training tool and as an introductory training tool is a really, really great way to use this. Secondly, I like to use it if you've got clients that you need to show how to do something. So I get asked quite a lot from my clients, Kristy, how do I change my email signature in Gmail, right? So if you've got clients that really trust you and rely on you for stuff, then you could create a set of little videos that you could, or your FAQs, for example, you could actually create a video out of that and you could send that through to your clients so that it's a really quick 2-minute way that you can show them some value. Is one way. And then the other way that I use is internally with my creative team, for example. So if we're building websites or if we're doing something and I need to be briefing in my creative team and I want to show them visually what I'm trying to achieve, or the same with your other, members of your team, you want to show them visually what you're trying to achieve. That's a really good way to just put together a very quick video rather than an email, because a video lets them actually see exactly what you're wanting them to do, right? So secondly is the recording styles. So I'm just going to share my screen so that I can show you how Loom looks. And when you go to Loom, you basically go to the URL useloom.com. And it's a free tool, so you can use it for free. It doesn't cost anything. You can also download, there's a couple of different ways that you can use it as well. You can download a Chrome extension, which I find really, really helpful, because then you're just pressing one button rather than an application on your desktop, which is really fun. So I'm just going to share my screen here. All right. So hopefully everybody can see that. So basically here, what we're looking at is the dashboard. So if you go to my videos on the dashboard, once you've signed up and you've set it all up, this is basically how it looks, okay? Now, you're obviously not going to have any folders in there, and we'll go through that in the next step. But the first thing is that you want to click new video. So new video is going to bring up this great little screen here, and it's going to tell you the different ways that you can actually record. Now, you'll see down here that I've got my little photo. You can actually make that image bigger or smaller, depending on how big you want it to be. I suggest keeping it on the small one if you're sharing content like this, because it can be really difficult to see what you're trying to achieve. So you can go screen and camera, which I always suggest because it's always nice having your little head down here. Or you can go screen only, and that's just doing the screen without an image down here. Or you can go camera only, okay? So that'll come up showing the camera only. So we go screen and camera. You go full desktop, or you can say the current tab. So it doesn't, you know, if this is the only tab that you want to do, then that's all you need to do. But if you're jumping from one tab to another to show people what to do, then you need to select the full desktop, okay? So then you simply just say, I mean, you can do the advanced options. You can do, you know, choose your camera, use the photo for screen only. You can do all of that, but just to simply get started, you just hit start recording, and then you select, do you want the application window or the entire screen, and then you share. So then it basically counts you down, and then you start recording. So we're now currently recording, blah, blah, blah. You go through all of your message, and then once you've finished, if you don't want it, you just hit the little cross down the bottom here. If you do want it, then you hit the tick, okay? And the tick finishes the recording and then takes you back into your screen. So the next step that we were talking about was how you then manage your folders. But before that, once you get the screen here, you can actually change and call it whatever you want, test video, whatever the video is that you're doing about it, okay? You can also then move it to a folder. So I'll talk about how you set up your folders, and you move it to the folder so that you've stored it in the place that you want it. You can add comments in here. So if you want to add a comment about anything, you can add that there and just post that in so that whoever views it will see the comments. You can also edit your video and do fancy things with it. My suggestion is keep it simple, or else it'll just confuse you. You just want to show someone exactly what you want them to do and then send it through to them. So once you've done that, then you set that video up. I'll show you now how we go ahead and sort out all of your folders. So folders are a great way. It's no different to the way you set up all your files in your file drive. So you can create whatever folders you like. I tend to set up my folders based around the columns of my business. There's a human resources one, you know, whatever you want to store it, that's how you store it. Really easy. When you get into there, you can then create subfolders and so on, and just make sure that you've got everything stored within there. So very simple. Then when you want to go ahead, and we'll go back to that video that we just created, I put that into the admin folder. So here we go. Now we want to send that, let's just say, to a new virtual assistant that we've just hired, or we want to send it through to somebody that that we want to pass on the task to do for us. We then want to go here and make sure that your link sharing is on. You can add a password, which I highly recommend. So you protect it with a password, and then you save that. And then you just simply copy the link. Once you've copied the link, very, very simple, you just then email that link to the person who you want to be able to use it. And it is as simple as that. Now, what I totally recommend is, I'm just going to come out of this screen now. What I really recommend is that once you create your videos and you do these things, don't think of it as an extra task. Think of this as something that you do as you're doing it. So let's just say tomorrow you're logging on and you're doing your Facebook posts as you always do every single week. You go through Canva, you create the image, you do the post, you put it in. that is a process-driven activity. Anything that you feel is a process-driven activity that doesn't require sort of individual intelligent thinking around it, you can create a process out of that. So you can literally just go on and create as many processes as you want as you're doing them, and then all of a sudden you've got this database of all these videos. And when you get to the point where you go, you know what, I want someone to do that for me, it'll be really, really easy for you to go to your data bank and go, all right, which task could I get them to do? This is how I do it. Here you go, there's the link. Can you basically start working on that? So really, really easy way. So if there's any questions, please pop them into the comments of the video. Thanks for joining me on this masterclass today. I've really enjoyed presenting it to you, and I hope that every Friday you can sign in and learn something new. Enjoy and happy Easter.